Hope you guys are doing great. Yeah, I wanted to try out some concept art, Egyptian concept art in Blender, so I guess we can start right away. And yeah, before we start, I wanted to show you. I'm working on something like a Blender manual, and the way it works. So this is an add-on I'm trying to release within the next week, and you just use it to search for Blender help. So for example, if I wanted to know how to use the mirror modifier, I just search here and I get a few tutorials on that, and I hit play and get a quick tutorial on how to set that up. Yeah, that's going to be available soon. I'm still finishing on some tutorials, but it should be available very soon. So let's get in and try to create an Egyptian environment, like a concept art or something. And I guess I can start by let's start by adding kind of a surface that we, let me see if I have. I'm going to use a displacement modifier to kind of create a terrain. So add resources, height maps. Yeah, I want to use a terrain like this. Maybe looks a bit too heavy. I can add a multi-resolution surface. Hello, Heli Sarius, how are you? How are you doing? Glad to see you. Subdivide this, bring this up above, and I don't want to start from scratch, so I guess if I have my camera centered here, maybe subdivide this even further, maybe even further. Like that. And I think this is a good position to start from. Let me see, around here. Then I think but we have a lot of resolution that isn't necessary. Let me see. If we have something like this, apply visuals to geometry. Let me turn on my shortcuts. Like that. If you look at the base mesh, we have a lot of unnecessary resolution. So what I'm going to do is just use a decimate modifier just to cut down on the resolution. Let me turn on wireframe just so I can see what's going on. Yeah, something like that. Apply that. Yeah, something like here. And I can also use a smooth modifier just to smoothen parts of the mesh. Like, yeah, something like that. I'll set up my camera here. Use a very wide focal length. Something like that. And are we going to be using cycles for this? So let's set that up. Let me make sure I'm saving this. I'll call this abandoned Egypt temple. And, I want to use cycles, so let me switch to that. And turn on us. Use a sky texture. And yeah, something like that. And I want to make sure that I want to make this look like sand. So I'm going to go to my textures folder add-on, search for sand. I'll search through all my folders. Doesn't seem like I have sand anywhere. So let me just go to this library. Let me see. I think under walls I might have some sand texture. Let me see. I think I'm just going to grab this, create a PBR out of that. Too reflective. Let me see if I can search for ground PBR materials that I could use. Maybe use this. Maybe scale it up a bit. I want to scale the sand a bit like that. Another thing I could do, I think, here is I can grab a noise texture, wave texture, something like that, and just let me reduce the waves, distort them a bit. Distort them. So without distortion, everything is straight. So about something like that. Then maybe we can blend that with the displacement texture. So with the displacement texture, so I can let me see what I have here. I can just have a vector bump, connect this normal to that and that, and now we should get some normal detail for the sand. Doesn't seem to be coming through a lot. Let's see. I want this noise to be the height map here. Okay, so that's what we have. Just reduce it quite significantly. So we have some nice wavy texture in there like that. Hello, Hafiz Caps, how are you doing? Hi, dude. What is... so today we are doing a kind of an Egyptian tempo, but I've started with the environment. Yeah. Let's look at this. Yeah, I think it looks okay here. So let's start adding in some building blocks. Just pause this for a second. I can start with a block like this. Hey, Burning Blight, how are you doing? I'm going to go to my texture add-on, search for brick texture or material. I'll see what I can get. I think something like this would work here, so let's use that. The rotation is a bit off, so let me see. Yeah, should be a bit like that. And let me see the material, this material setup here. I think we're using object mapping. We're using UV mapping, which would work. Let me see for the bricks. For the bricks are here, and they're using object mapping, UV mapping. I want to use object mapping. Thank you, Hasnain Raza. Thank you. You just apply the scale on this. I think actually let's just use UV. Now is my online class now. I am watching this. Yeah. Okay, so we want to create a very large building. Let me just that to be the foundation of our temple. I think I need to box unwrap this. Actually, I can just UV unwrap it. I'm just going to add a seam here, Ctrl E, mark seam, just unwrap. Let's see if I do cylinder projection and straighten these edges. Let's try smart projection. Yeah, I think smart projection is better. It gets us that nice detail. So let's unpause this for a second, then scale up the detail. Then we can start adding in some extra details here. I can add a loop cut, because we need to have an interest. I like that. And I think I'm going to detail this. Let me first pause this, add a loop here, add another loop, and just scale this like that. And I have a few reference images that I'm looking at, and the way these pyramids, or I think they're called, I don't know if they're pyramids, but they have some detail around them. Let me turn on random colors here. Need to shift in. Even offset. How long have you been using Blender? Quite some time. Been using Blender for quite some time, so maybe now it's about 10 years, I think. Just make sure this is flat like that, and just start adding in extra detail. Let's round off some of these corners, and then maybe add extra detail at some. If I unpause this, you can see without doing a lot of work, we get some nice detail like that. And let me pause again. Can come in here, add a loop around there. And then just select some of these, extrude in. Like that. And this building block is a good starting point for other building blocks, so I can duplicate this around. Maybe scale it down, grab this detail, add it up, and first reset the origin. So what have you guys been doing? Did you guys do anything interesting on the weekend? Because I have not streamed for almost 3 days, I think. Not sure. I think this needs to be a bit centered, so I just slide it a bit. Actually, let me leave it like that. Now let's okay, I think I need to bring this a bit forward, somewhere like that. Maybe even extend it further back, like that. And with this, I need to smart project or smart UV unwrap this, and I think I need to rotate these details and scale up that. I just learned Blender for 4 days ago. Ah, nice. So you are totally new to Blender? Is that what you're saying? I think I can grab this piece as well, maybe. Let's see. Let's pull the camera even further back. Give it a slight rotation like that. Now this top also needs that. Actually, I think what I can do is just make this top a bit different. Yeah, very new. Yeah, I see. I've been working on improving my workflow for concept art. Ah, nice. Let's see. Burning Bright, have you done any pieces we can see while you are improving? Oh, let me just have this somewhere here. That maybe have this scaled. Yeah, let me look for columns. Some columns that I could use here. I think I can grab something like this at a let's see. I can grab this, give it the same material, control link materials. If I shift N, recalculate normals. Yeah, something like that. Let me first also turn on ambient occlusion, screen space reflections, and go back to cycles because I want to use cycles here. Soon? Ah, nice. Yes, but I haven't been able to render it. I'll try to render and upload on Discord. Ah, nice. That would be amazing. Let's duplicate this. I can just use an array here. -2. Just duplicate this. Have this like this, and I can also just grab this bottom piece. I'll just select it, Shift D, P, and use it as a detail in here. So it's very useful to reuse your assets. So that's what you see me doing here. Where can I find the Discord link? I just use !! Discord. Hello everyone, is that Cycles X? Yeah, this is Cycles X. It's a very It's faster than the other cycles, and has some amazing new features. Like you can decide how long each frame takes to render, which is very, very useful for me. Yeah, so I want to use this entire block again. So what I'm going to do is just recenter it, like here. Where? Yeah, in the center of the world, like that. Move it into a new collection, call it block 1. May I share what I've done for my first? Yeah, you should. You can add that in the Discord server. Yeah, so now I can use a collection instance, block 1, have it somewhere here, like that. And let's see how this works if it was also somewhere here, and maybe let's see. Yeah, I think that could also work. We just need to extend this portion forward. So let's do that. Just select these parts and this. Just push it forward like that. Like that. And one thing we could do is also for some of these, we can just select a line like that, create a new material, a duplicate brick material like this. I'll call this brick color 1 and assign it to that portion. So I can come into this and change the brick color a bit. I don't know. Just to add some bit of color like that. Let me turn on viewport denoising. And I'm also going to grab this here. Maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah, something like that. And again, I can also, let me see, grab another piece here. I think I can grab this, Shift D, have it as a piece here. Now we can try changing the angle of the light. Let's see the sun rotation. If we play with the sun rotation and maybe the elevation as well. Let's see. You can even play with the colors. I think this side also needs some bit of detail. I sent my first render on Discord. Great. I'll check it out after the stream and see. You can also have these broken pieces that we created in previous streams, so we can make use of them. Just give them the same material. Okay, maybe this doesn't really fit. Let me first pause this, come to this. I think we can also make use of some extra details on here, so I can just add in some details in there like that. And hello Sudu, Mira, better, how are you doing? Glad to see you. I also want to add, let me grab this, have it here. Let me see how this would look if, because I want to block out this area here. Just have this around there, and I want to add some steps. Let me see if I have some steps here. Yeah, I have this step. Again, we created this in a previous live stream, so let's reuse it here. It's really large, so let's scale it down. Get rid of the booleans. And I also want to block out some of this light so that we don't have light everywhere. Yeah, I think something like that. Starting to look good. Now we just have to detail this side. I can also reuse these steps. Shift D, rotate them 180 degrees to this side. Like that. Let me go to my vibrant colors and just play with different presets and see how this would look. Let me reset. I think it's starting to look better. Look good. Maybe this piece here, I need to reduce and just add this detail instead. So you know. Let me first pause. Have something like that. Let's see what else can we add. I'm just going to use my cloth library add-on to create a character that we can use here. So I'm going to go to my cloth library. Let me just grab some pre-made assets I can grab. Let me see. Can grab this jacket. If I isolate this and get some pants as well. Like that. And maybe also get something like a shirt. Let's see, let me grab this. Just scale it in, have it in. I like that. Let me get my sculpt tool. I'll go to sculpt mode here. Just push these details in. Just increase the brush size, reduce the strength. Okay, something like that. Maybe make these pants dark as well, something like that. Now, what we are missing are some shoes, hands, and then a head. For that, I think I'm going to improve this add-on so that I can easily, instead of making a whole character, because I see if we wanted to use this as a complete person, we just need some hands. They don't even have to be attached to anything else. Then a head and then some legs. So let me go to the, what is it called? My asset library. I've searched for a male character. Let me see, man. Like this guy here. Just because all I need is the head, hands, and some legs. I don't even need the rig. I don't know if I will use the rig, but let's see. Just have him centered here. Make sure that this is parented. Control object. Just make his pose match ours. Just make sure everything aligns correctly. You go to this, apply. I think I just need to grab these, this hand, align it to Let me see. Because I want him to dress up like this. But let me first align him in the scene and see. Just have him here. Quickly pause him. Let's see how this looks. I want him to dress up in different clothes, but I think that's going to take a lot of time for us. So, yo, thank you for the subscription. Thank you, Uchiha Itachi. Thank you. I'm going to use the botanical add-on to add in some plants. So let me get that botanic. Okay, let's get some palm trees. That's tropical. Some tropical trees. Can grab maybe this here. Add it maybe somewhere here. Looks too big. I think I need to push my camera a bit back for this. So don't you think the surface should be displaced? The surface is displaced maybe because we don't really have, maybe you don't have enough detail for the displacement, but it is displaced. Or do you mean a different surface than this? Yes, get another, maybe get this. Can add it. These palm trees really also help on emphasizing the scale of your scene. So if you have them, they're going to be very, very useful. Okay, I think I like that lighting. Let me just move these buildings around because they are affecting how the shadows look. But it is looking good too. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Some of these parts need to be displaced more, and I think I have a trick for that. So let's first go to the viewport shading here for a second, because I think especially the parts that are too close to the camera look too plain. They're not displaced very well. So what I'm going to do is just select those parts that I know that I want to add more detail to. So for example, this, separate them, or should I separate them? Is it actually it's not necessary to separate them. What I can do is go to sculpt mode. Hello Mohammed, Una, how are you doing? I can go to the sculpt mode, and under I can turn on Dino Topo, and for the texture I need a displacement texture. So I'll create a new texture, image texture, and just search through my height maps and see what I can get. I have these rocky surfaces that I think could work very well for this. So let's see how. Oh, 63 viewers, amazing, thank you. That's a good new high. We have had more than that before, but yeah, thank you guys. Okay, so now with this, you can see I can start painting in some extra detail, but my brush or my Dino Topo is a bit, the resolution is still low, so let's try 6. You can see I'm starting to paint in some extra detail like that. Let's shade smooth, and let me focus mostly where. Now let me also increase the strength so that you can see the details of the rocks. And I think if you go under, what is it called, under the texture, there is an option to randomize the rotation of the brush, so we can easily paint in some nice details like this. And because we're using Dino Topo, when we need more resolution, the brush just adds that for us. So something like that. I'm not sure how detailed I want to be with this, but let's switch out the texture a bit. So I'll go back to this. Let's grab this, see how that looks. Maybe we need to even reduce the detail size further. So we can paint in some crazy detail. I like that. I think, yeah, high frequency detail is going to make your scene look massive, and that's what we are going for here. So everywhere that I think we might need detail, I'm going to just brush over like that. Let me turn off random for a bit. So I'll go back here, change this to 3D, and see. You can see how that gets us some nice detail. So we can go out of this. Let's check on the wireframe. See, that's a lot of detail. It's kind of, I'm not sure if I want to, but the scene doesn't seem to, it seems to respond okay, so I'm just going to stick with it. Let's go back to the render. See how that looks. Yeah, so that's how it looks. It looks too muddy because Dino Topo usually messes up your UV maps. So we might need a UV map. Let me see if this is using, yeah, this is using a UV map. Let me see. Does everything here UV map? Yeah, everything uses UV maps here. So I'm going to go to my, give me a moment here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, where was I? Okay, so yeah, we want to UV unwrap this, or maybe we can just use object mapping, because that's that might be much easier to deal with instead of UV unwrapping this. So let me select all the nodes, and just set them to box mapping, and change this to box as well, maybe. Yeah, something like that. And I think this area is not receiving enough light, so let's go play with the sun a bit. You can change the elevation maybe to 50. Okay, that gives us a very, very bright area. Let's try 45, maybe something like that. And maybe the other thing I can do is just reduce on the size of this, because it's casting a very large shadow in our scene. Maybe move it a bit as well, so somewhere like that, so that half of the character is in light, like that. I'm also going to duplicate this, make it thinner but taller. Right now we're just playing with the shadows to get a better composition. Let me see. Yeah, something like that. We can let me see if I can get some Egyptian 3D Egypt. Let me see Egyptian 3D scans. Have you ever played Red Dead Redemption? Yeah, I have. Let's get some 3D scans that we can add in here, because I know there are some free 3D scans that we can get from different websites. Or we can go to Mega Scans, and see if we can get something there. Let me see. Egypt. Yes, look for statue. Do you know how those statues are called? Are the ones that are in Egypt? Because I can't seem to find the right wording. Hey Zigzag, how are you doing? Let's grab, let me see this. I want something that fits the same style, the style we are looking at. Ancient. Maybe something like this could work, but this is more a Buddhist. Maybe this. Let's go to free3d.com. There are usually some good models there. Let's look for Let's look for ancient has cartoonish. No, this is. Let's look at 3D scan. 3D scan. Can you sculpt it? Yeah, it would take a lot of time to sculpt something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the how others are called. It's a. I guess we can add more vegetation in some places. Let's see. Let's grab this. You know what? I think I want to have a lot of vegetation here, so but this is too big for our scene. So let me scale it down at something like that. I want to spawn a lot of vegetation here, so I think it will make things look cooler. Just add a few things. Can you add some camo? Yeah, I think I can do that. If I get a good one. If I can get some camo. But let's see. Now maybe even add a small, maybe this is a water. This is water. So I'll go to the asset library and look for some water material. Let's see. Let me use this water. But this time I want it to be to be blue. I want the water to be really, really blue. Maybe let me use a glass shader this time instead of a principal shader for this. Yeah, because I want the water to look blue and a bit displaced. So vector bump. Yo, what's good? You all? Hey, Ganja Farmer. How are you doing? Guess I might need to UV unwrap this. Yeah. Let me look at how this looks in Eevee. The scene looks nice. Thank you, man. Can you add some leaves and some tree broken? Yeah, I think I can do that. I think the botanical addon has some good leaves that we can use. I want to first check this out in Eevee because I want to correct the water, how this water looks. I think this water has to extend all the way. Thank you, Blender Work. Hello, Post Extra. Nice, bro. You are the best. Thank you, man. Okay. So, one thing I'm noticing about this water, it doesn't look really... Okay, this is supposed to be a height. Go to the height, not the bump. Yeah, something like this. Let's see no more roughness. And if we add some volume absorption, so shader volume absorption. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Bikan Tutku. I want to add some volume absorption. Maybe make this water somewhere there. Connect this to the volume. Now yeah, something like that. I think the noise has to be a bit larger, maybe. Yeah, the water can be something like that. Looks too reflective, maybe. Make transition 0 and roughness 0. Let me see. Transmission 0, roughness 0. I'm using a glass shader that doesn't have transmission on it. Yeah, the water looks a bit too... It doesn't look too good for me, so I'm going to start the water render from scratch. So let me just render only this part for now. So I think I'm just going to use a glass shader, glass like that. Doesn't seem this glass is really yeah, it is transparent. Maybe somewhere like that, and then I can add some noise to it. Vector bump. Where is your Instagram address? Just use the exclamation mark, socials, and I should take you to my Instagram. I think that's looking much better. The only thing we need here is maybe to add some stones here, and some extra detail this area. So for this area, I think I'm going to do something different. I think if I go to my asset library, I think I have some rocks. Rock? Is it rock? Yeah, I have a few rocks here. And what I'm going to do with these rocks, let me add them like here. Let's grab a few of them. Just a few of them like these. Different variations like that. Let me see the resolution on them. They're not too bad. And their texturing is also not too bad. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry I can't pronounce your name, but thank you. Yeah, so these are our rocks. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to move them into a collection called rocks. Then have a cube like this, maybe scale it like that. And then go to particle system, new particle system. You can use here, and under render we can use collection, select the rocks collection, can play with the randomized scale, and also turn off the instance. We want to create 99 viewers. Thank you. What I want to create is a wall of rocks, and I think the best way to do that is just turn on advanced. Under source you can change from faces at volume, and you can see now we have really a thick wall like that. And I can set this to 1, and under the scale set this to 1 as well, and you can see we already have a large rock surface like this. We have a lot of particles though, so let's try 500, and you can see we get a block of rock like that. And the amazing thing about this is that now I can simply just draw a wall of rock like that. See, looks very, very detailed, and you can play with the rotation, randomize it, randomize the phase, and we have a well detailed wall of rock like that without doing a lot. And that's what I want to be around here. So I'm just going to come in here and just make it follow. Yes, actually I want it to follow this. I want it to follow this structure. Nice rocks. Thank you. Sure. From where do you download the height maps? You can just go and see if you can get something. See our, and now I can just scale this up. So we have our wall like that. And then you can add some trees here on the side. Okay, maybe let me move the camera a bit. And we need a lot of vegetation here. Looks super cool. Thank you, Tusha. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the. I think I also have some plants in my collection, so I'll look for plants and see what I can use here. We just grab this. Scale this down. Yeah, just because we want to have some kind of trees here, some vegetation. Let me grab this. Let's see, let me search for grass. I still have this piece in, but yeah, for now I have this grass. I want it to be floating on the surface of the water. You are my Blender inspiration. Oh, thank you, thank you. The rock trick is nice. Yeah, I think it's yeah, quite useful. Let me see if I don't have the water. I think I'm going to pull the water down, and for this grass, just to make sure that it's not floating on the surface, just going to make sure that this mesh is subdivided a few times, and just use a shrink wrap modifier like that. Just make sure this is above, and we can also add more particles, and maybe even add some children. Yeah, that's too much. Oh, one thing we want to do, if this is water, what we can make, I think actually the water has a lot of ripples, so I'm going to have to bring the bump quite down. And another thing I need to do is maybe make the water a bit muddy, because to make it more realistic. And then let's see how this looks. Make it look a bit rough. We don't want it to be too reflective. Like that. Another thing we can do is reeds and lily pads. Yeah, I think I can. Let me see if the asset lab, the botanic add-on, has those. Does it have any reeds? But it does have some dead leaves that I think would work very well here. Okay, I don't know where did it add. Okay, so they're here. Just need to add them somewhere. Why my Blender lags when I add too much objects and work in render mode? Maybe your PC can handle too much objects. So yeah, let's see. Can I either carnivorous? Yeah, we need to change the color of these plants. Let me see if I can find any short grass. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, the project is starting to become a bit heavy, but let's see. Yeah, you see, actually it doesn't look too bad in Eevee as well. Just let me first pause the render. Okay, Blender is starting to crash, but let's see. Any suggestion to reduce lag? Don't work in rendered mode then, because rendered mode takes a lot of resources. So yeah, that could be the problem. Okay, I want to make the water look a bit muddy. That it's just looking metallic. Maybe somewhere like that. Let's see. Let's try working in Eevee, and then we can render later in cycles. Another thing I wanted to do is because I can grab this surface here and maybe use texture painting. So I'll go to texture paint or vertex paint, whatever works. I think let me just use vertex paint. Just paint actually I want vertex paint this area here because I want it to look muddy. Yes, like that. Go back to object mode. Any idea to make autumn trees falling from autumn, you mean leaves are falling from a tree? Yeah, I really have no idea how to approach that. Let me see. If I get an input, let me grab the mask we have just drawn using vertex map. So this, mix it with this. So I want this, let me have this as make this, just use a mix. And let me add another mix here. And that way I can make that a bit, make it look muddy and all. And can also make it a bit more reflective. So I need this grass, I want to also give it some random rotation. And I also want to get this. Let me go to the grass instance. Let me go here. I also want to change the color of the grass to match the scene a bit more. So let me see how that looks. Just make it a bit more brown. Yeah, I think now it's starting to match everything a bit better. I think I'm going to come to this grass and just separate just reset origin to geometry, just grab this. Just increase the particles. Let me change the angle to 20. And also grab this wall, just add it here as well. Just, I don't want to show this side, so let's, yeah. I really like how this wall of rocks just came out. Bro, can we make a forest with botanic add-on? Is it possible to use scatter assets option for trees? Yes, but you really need a really beefy machine to do that, because the botanic add-on has a lot of high resolution image. The models are high resolution, so creating a whole forest is going to take up a lot of resources. So which app you use for your live stream? I use what is it called? OBS. I use OBS. Yeah, I think things are looking much better now. The only thing I'm not sure of is this water looks a bit, maybe, yeah, something like that I think is much better. Now maybe scale this tree up. Maybe have this guy closer. To the camera. Actually, I don't want him too close because it doesn't look super realistic, so let's change the light angle. See, okay. You know what? I think I like that look. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Let me see if I hide this for a second. Nah. I think we need a distant. Going to grab one of the tall this here, just yeah. Yeah, I think these steps have to be a bit up because parts of this seem to be floating. Let's add a pyramid back here. Let me first pause. Let's add a pyramid up here, back here. Subdivide this a few times. Yes. Turn on proportional editing. Just create a nice pyramid. I will just use random here. Add atmosphere. I think I can do that. Oh, scene looks nice. Thank you, Ganjaf. I want to have a pyramid back there. Okay, it's supposed to be around. Want a pyramid back there. Can use the same material as this link. Hello, Comic Sans. How are you doing? I'm good. Your 3D scenes are like an instant time machine. Nice, bro. Thank you, thank you. I'm great, Comic. How are you? Yeah, I need this. Now I'm going to make this gold. Yes, if I use we have place a gold cap on the pyramid. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do as well. Okay, so this let's find some gold material. Gold. I don't have gold. Let me see. Metal. Have this. Yes, gold cap and white basalt walls. Basalt walls. I'm not sure what basalt walls are. And this is more like copper. So let's turn it into gold. Also, can you camera lens up? Or I mean to look up. That can be done. Yeah, that's our golden cup. What else? Let's try a different angle and see. All history books say the pyramids were in white limestone with golden cap on top. I see. Trying to render, but oh, now my my graphics card seems to have crashed or something. But, let me first change the angle here and see. How much time do you spend on Blender? Usually 2 hours a day. You can add gold on top of the other trim of the other buildings. Let's see. You mean these? Give them a gold. Oh, that could work, I guess. That could work. Let's see. Okay, I think I need to restart Blender because let me see if I go to GPU, CPU and change back. See if that would help because it seems my GPU isn't working right now. How did you make the ground look so realistic? That's a texture, a PBR material. Yeah, my GPU seems to have crashed, so let me quit Blender and then restart. Yeah, I don't think the gold works on the trims here. Kind of stands out too much. That makes it look like the building is too new. I want to have an abandoned feeling, like this place has been abandoned or something. Blender is starting to crash quite a few times, but let's see. Yeah, I think this looks good. Yeah, we would, I think an environment here would work really well. And maybe let me do that. Let me first pause. Let me see how. So about 100 and about 100 and so let's go back to this render settings, volumetrics. Okay, Cycle doesn't really care. I'm just going to scale this up like this, display this as a wireframe, and give it a volume setting. So shader principal volume, maybe have something like 0.1. Okay, that's way dark, so 0.01. And I'll also select the camera and make sure that it's not clipping, so maybe increase the intensity to point. Yeah, some environment lighting like that can also help. And yeah, I think I'm going to give this a quick render. One thing I can do is increase, since we have added some volumetric, I'm going to double the intensity so that this looks brighter. I can go back to my vibrant colors, just reset the exposure, play with the gamma, and maybe something like that. Do I need, let me check different presets. Let me reset. I'm going to give this a quick render. Let me first pause this, maybe go to Eevee, set up a few camera movements, and yeah, see. So this is a camera. I want it to want the animation to start and I want to start the animation around here, but my wall doesn't go all the way here, so I'm going to grab this wall, maybe even, actually let me just go to edit mode, delete this, just add a cube, just scale it like this. Yeah, I want to start off the animation around here. Yeah, you can even grab set the camera here. Let's see. Something like that. Another thing I could do is animate the character, just give him a few movements, a few poses. So I'll just start with animating his head. Then also animate his hand, just random, doing some random stuff. Just some small animation like that. Another thing I could do, just so we can preview this faster, I'm just going to first turn off all these effects, and the animation should preview faster. Doesn't seem to be the case. Same. And I also want to animate these palms. Yeah, so these palms, just give them some, just to make it look like it's windy. So let's see. And also do the same for these. Just rotate them a bit. Do the same for these. Hello Raj, how are you? Yeah. So that's going to be it. I'm going to give this a quick render, and I'll be posting the animation, the complete animation on over my website. That is, let me get the page for you. So that's Blender and Beyond. I post a lot of tutorials there. Break down all of the different live streams we have made, and yeah. You can use exclamation mark website to do that. And while I still have you here, I'm working on another add-on. This is more like a Blender manual, and the way it works is mostly targeting beginners, but I'll also add more tips or more tutorials for more advanced users. So if you are, say, working on something and you don't know how to use, say, the bevel modifier, just come here to the Blender help manual, search in bevel or how to use bevel modifier, search, and let me search all packs, make sure that how to use, let me see, clear. The add-on is still in development, and you just so let me just make sure that I'm playing this. Let's look if I want to see how to use the mirror modifier. I just have to search for it, and you can see I get some tutorials on how, quick tutorials, about 1 minute, a few seconds. You can search for a lot of things, say, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a Blender manual, but instead of text, you get videos explaining how to use specific things. And say instance, how to use instances. You play and you get something about that. So here I'm showing you how to use particle instances. So this is a tutorial this is an add-on that is going to be available on Blender Market after it's launched. But right now you can get it on my Patreon page. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you